Hello guys, Zennosh here, and today in this video of Exos Heroes, let's review the Fatecore Nemeris. Let's see if his new skill sets are going to be helpful in the current meta contents or not. Alright, so let's get this started. Looking into his artwork, he looks slender, he looks sleek, guys. And it's kind of hard for me to digest that he is actually a guy, not actually a woman. Something is up with him. Something is up, guys. Anyways, now let's look into this notice right away. Yeah, Fatecore chance of Black Prince Nemeris recruit. Alright, the period is going to be starting after the maintenance. That's going to be tomorrow, Thursday, until April 8th, Thursday, 1:59/2021 UTC time. Your main hero is going to be the Fatecore Nemeris. And you can recruit hero plus Fatecore with a higher probability than the premium recruitment. As he's a black Fatecore hero unit, he's going to drop at 0.7% chance from his own banner, and you can get him for free after 19 multi summons in his banner. Alright, that's what we call the PD summons. Anyways, the artwork is pretty cool, but man, is he really a dude? Let me know in the comment section below. Let's look into the Fatecore ability out here, alright? Black Prince Nemeris. Attack is going to be boosted by 57 points, defense by 30 points, and health by 192 points. Whereas the combat power is going to be boosted by a total of 9,000 points, which is pretty underwhelming. Not really impressive stats. Anyways, now let's move on to the skill information. Passive effect, guys, which is known as the mana utilization 3, so he's definitely a wizard unit. Increases attack based on alloys mana count. More the mana the alloys really do have, the more damage you are going to deal against the opponents. Pretty handy, isn't it? Gains mana 1 mana if alloys mana count is at 10 or more on turn, and he can still gain 1 mana if the enemy's mana count is at 10 or more on turn. So there are so many lucrative ways for him to get a lot of mana, so that means he's definitely going to stack up a lot of mana without any problem at all in very short period of time. So definitely it's going to be quite easy for him to keep on using his skills, and that makes him pretty deadly in the like in the battles out there. Now, there is a new skill effect that has been added, Corruption, alright? Mark effect increases own attack by 20% for 7 turns upon receiving health regeneration effects, alright? Just like Schmidt out there, and can be stacked up to a total of 5 times. That means like his attack can be boosted by a total of 100% if everything goes on right, alright? So you just need to keep on providing those health regeneration effects, and definitely he's going to scale up on his damage. And that is definitely going to be quite helpful for his skill sets out there, because definitely this is a guy that scales on dealing a lot of damage against the opponents out there. So if there is any kind of mechanism that would improve his attack stats or damage output ability, definitely that is a plus point out there. Alright, so that's gonna be it. Pretty good stuff out here, guys, and it's not really that hard to actually keep on providing those health regeneration effects, especially that soulbone effect provided by Doka that keeps on providing a lot of healings, and plus so many other healings that is provided by so many other units out there, like let's say Fatecore Talia and so on and on. Anyways, now let's move on to the next skill. That's the active skill number 1 that requires just 1 mana, alright, and it's known as Fallen Tree. So instead of like hurting the opponents, it's more of a buff effect. All increases attack of all allies by just 14% of own attack for 6 turns. Well, his attack is definitely going to be really high because he's a wizard unit, right? And that's pretty good out there, guys. And 14%, not really that superb though, and there is actually the very low possibility for it to keep on improving because the amount of mana required is so low. Alright, so we cannot actually really depend on it really that much. And the another thing is that he's pretty slow. I think his attack speed is about like 55 points, which I would say is pretty slow. I mean, like Bathory is way faster than that, right? And buff effect, guys, increases the critical hit of all allies by 53 points for 12 turns, and that is pretty fair. I mean, like just 53 points, that is not really that superb, but for 12 turns that's pretty good. And if it can improve like really good, then that would be something out there, guys. Okay, critical hit should have been actually boosted by a lot more amount out there. 53 points, not really that superb, not really that superb. So I would say very fair skill, not something to really brag about, and you definitely cannot actually excel on it with the help of the signature force because it doesn't attack the opponents out there. And with just 1 mana effect, you cannot really expect for this skill to improve a lot by just improving her stats way a lot. Alright, so yeah, pretty pessimistic about it. This skill out here. Next is gonna be the active skill number 2 right out here, and it requires 5 mana and it's a burst effect, meaning like if he's going to have any extra amount of mana, like let's say 10 mana, he's going to even use those 5 extra manas that he has in order to deal some heavy damage against the opponents out there. So let's see what is it out here. It's gonna be known as the Violet Sword. It's a single target damage, deals 1050% damage to a single target, and mark effect guards increases the block value of the target by 50% when the target has Bramble Mark, and Bramble Mark is going to be provided by the carry herself, who still does not have a Fatecore. Yeah, and she definitely is gonna have a lot of problem out there because her signature force has just been released and it's just on the fastest stage, so you cannot really expect for her to easily afflict the Bramble Mark on the opponents because of the synergy effect. Alright, it's kind of pretty hard for her to actually inflict the Bramble Mark on the opponents out there because she gotta have higher attack stats than compared to the opponent, and that's gonna be quite hard because of the lack of buff that she's going to receive out there, because of the very weak signature force out there of carry. And the next thing is that like you know, like lack of the blue fate course and so on and on. There are so many upgrades that definitely the carry is actually going to suffer, and with that one, Bramble Mark is definitely not going to be really that effective as of now. Bramble Mark is pretty good. I'm not saying it's bad. It's good. It's really good. But thing is that like it's not going to be really that easy to apply on the opponents, and that actually makes it a little bit quite not that effective. Okay, so with all those things considered, even though the skill seems to be really awesome, but it actually lacks the practicality. That's the problem out there, because carry really needs a lot of upgrade first before this skill can actually really excel a lot. So anyways, looking into this skill itself, it has a really huge potential to deal some really good damage against the opponents out there. 1050% damage to one enemy, that's so good. I mean, like Nemeris is a fast lieutenant, or let's say the fated hero unit, and the another unit besides Schmidt who can actually deal some really huge nuke on the opponents out there. So that's pretty awesome, and with the burst effect definitely you can actually knock the shit out of the opponents out there. So definitely a very amazing nuke, and with his speed being so low, definitely he will be able to use this skill right away in his first round. Alright, and that also makes him quite lethal out there. But the problem is the signature force. Signature force is very not developed as of now. There is like a blue fate core buff that is actually going to miss out, and his core memory is still just being introduced, and there are so many other limitations out there that will actually not allow him to be really that effective. And the next thing that we also gotta know is that like he's not really that superb versatile unit as Fatecore Schmidt out there, because I mean, like the description of the skill is so little. I mean, like there's so little that he can do. Alright, so yeah, I would say it's pretty good to have around, but not something that would actually change the current meta. Okay, just good to have around. That's it. Don't expect a lot from him. Alright, and that said and done, if you're asking me, should you be really investing SAS on him, and I would say no. You can actually start saving your SAS, because first of all, he's a black Fatecore unit, and you are definitely going to get a lot of Fatecore recruit tickets from so many events out there, and you can use those Fatecore recruit tickets to get a lot of black Fatecore hero units. Alright, and someday, if you get lucky, you definitely are going to get the Fatecore Nemeris, because even if you don't have Fatecore Nemeris right now, it's not going to affect that much. Even if your opponent is going to have Fatecore Nemeris, they're not going to really excel a lot. Alright, there are so many buffs that really need to get in effect in order for her to be really powerful, and it's still not yet out there. So we gotta wait for the nation of the Nemeris to be really matured and to be really strong later on before we can actually start saying that Nemeris is a game-breaking hero unit. But for now, he's not. Alright, even though his skill sets are pretty good, I would say for beginners, definitely if you get him, he's definitely going to help you a lot, especially to spam a lot of damage against the opponents out there, because he has really amazing that single target nuking damages, and definitely he's going to be quite a really good help in terms of dealing the damage, as well as providing a lot of support to the units out there by boosting the attack, as well as boosting the critical hit of the allies out there as well. But 53 points, that's not a lot, because like we have Fatecore Annie that can boost the critical hit by up to 300%, and we have like Shell as well, right? We can actually provide critical rate boost by 100 points passively, just like that, and so on and on. Alright, 53 points, it's so low. So anyways, that's my insights. If you have different insight, please do let me know in the comment section below. I would really love to know it. And this is what I've already discussed a while ago. Looking into exclusive weapon, I would still like to tell it to you guys that it's just for the cosmetic purpose. If you do like this sword, and if you just want that sword to be handled by this woman or this guy or this dude out here, then you can do so. Alright, but that's all there is to it. Don't really expect a lot more extra like stuff to happen around with this stuff out here, because the extra effect that it provides is just boosting attack by 30 points and the combat power by 3000 points, which is nothing. Alright, it's pretty much worthless, and it actually demands of the same amount of CS in order to summon it, and also the 19 multi-summons in order to get it for free, which is similar to that the hero units themselves. It's pretty much like a scam. If you are not really interested into the costumes, or let's say the appearance on how the weapon really looks like, then well, you really don't have to even worry about it. So that's all there is to it, guys, and yeah, that's it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm really looking forward for your insights, comments, criticism, feedbacks, and so on and on. See you guys in the next video.